They've had great continuity in their starting lineup this season.
Do you have the license?
Starting lineups this season. Philadelphia's 24th different starting lineup. For the Knicks, just their 4th. And a foul right away on Tyrese. First contact is going to be called. Here's Brunson, mid-range, no. And the rebound, hauled in by Gordon. Here's George, slithering through, elevating, left it short. Anunoby secures the rebound.
Challenged by Jericho Sims, getting his 4th start of the year. Hyper-athletic big man, but obviously not going to give you the kinds of numbers offensively that you're accustomed to at that position.
Here is Hart. Bridges. Unable to bank it in. Anunoby keeps it alive, but Oubre off and running. Brunson cuts him off and comes up with the basketball. Now Bridges in rhythm, connects on it. Detroit finally broke out, went 6 of 8 from 3 in that game, and now hits his first attempt tonight.
It's been a bit of a roller coaster, so if I'm Philadelphia and he makes that first 3, I'm thinking, oh boy, it might be a long night.
As we saw Christmas Day on our air. Gordon, a deep one, he's short, and the rebound.
Organization has gone wrong.
And you could see the way it is weighing on Nick Nurse. Just trying to navigate without so many key pieces as of their first-round playoff series a season ago. Just how many Knicks fans were in this building? They certainly travel well, and it is not a far trip. Yabusele, good look over to Gordon. Maxey with 5 to shoot. Maxey dances inside. Oubre flips it in. He said, it's amazing whenever you think, oh, he has a limitation ability to spray the basketball like that.
He scared the absolute bejesus out of the United States Olympic team this summer. I remember that.
Earned his way back into the NBA as a result, and he's going to make a lot more money when he's a free agent this offseason. Here's Hart over to Anunoby. Sets himself up. Bridges. A free lane, and Bridges can't swivel it in, but Hart tips it in.
I love what Josh Hart brings. The guy's having a career year almost across the board. Over 9 rebounds a game at his size.
Maxey missed it right. I mean, yeah, at 6'4", DB.
Come on.
And you look at anybody else his size in the league, there's nowhere in the vicinity of him on the rebound. So it's number 2 on Maxey, just 3 minutes into the first. And you can understand, Doris, the desire to want to challenge it, because you don't want Tyrese Maxey, especially in a game without Embiid, to pick up 2 early ones. But as Anunoby hoists it up, got it on the rest of the game, and that didn't seem like he had much of a chance to win if you're Philadelphia.
I agree. The only thing, having watched Nick Nurse pleading with the official proximate contact, his point was he thought Mikal was using his arm to establish position first.
Yeah.
On the duck in, and so I agree, it's done, you've lost your challenge, and maybe you want to have it, but to me that was his thinking, was there was proximate contact.
Thought it could be an offensive foul instead. Maxey staying out there with those 2 personals. Here's Maxey, pitter-patter dribble, fades and leaves it short. Hart the rebound, and Hart runs right off the glass. Brunson into the corner, Bridges again.
The rate can take off the window. New York's a team that plays at one of the slowest paces. But when they get opportunities in transition, usually Josh Hart is somehow involved. And
when you asked Tom Thibodeau before the game about Hart's rebounding, that was the first thing that Tibbs talked about, his ability to get it and go. Yabusele had that one go halfway down and pop out. Here's Bridges. Cross court. Hart didn't take it. Brunson 8 to shoot. Brunson, baseline teardrop is good. His floater as good as it gets.
No question. Going either direction. If he needs to, he uses the Euro step to get his shoulders closed.
Last year, he set a record for most floaters in a season, a stat that's been tracked for a little more than a decade. Hart lobbing it in, and Sims gets fouled. Sims hits the
rim. If you're Josh, make him feel good early if you can.
Yeah.
So I like him targeting that. The 3 was there for Jalen, but it just changes the way somebody feels.
Rewarding your big running the floor,
exactly.
Too. Here's George. His 3 is good. He feels like for so much of this season where he fits in, and over the last couple of weeks, as Anunoby got lost underneath, George has finally just said, you know what, I'm going to do this, and the results have been there.
Listen, you hear this out of Devin Booker, right, where he talks about, oh, Kevin hasn't shot 3 trips up the floor, like, right. I've got to do something.
George, that's why he's taking it into his own.
Way the geography in New Jersey about where he's certain part of the state.
That's right. Well, George could not quite keep it in bounds.
Put that cap on.
That might be a safer play. Here's Bridges on the cut.
To get where they want to go as a team, they're going to need more and more consistency from Bridges. There's no question about it.
Bridges nearly came up with a steal. Maxey, quick first step, slides through, couldn't reverse it in. Achua fighting for the board, so is Oubre, and a second foul on Tyrese Maxey 3 minutes into the game.
Are you going to rub that into Nick Nurse all game long?
No. I'm just trying to consider what the audience, because I was thinking, DB, maybe that last hit New York.
How often would you see the two-man game, little screen and roll action, pick and pop action with Karl Anthony Towns and Jalen? It's got to look different.
Yabusele off on a 3. You see Jeff Doughton Jr. into the game for Philadelphia. So is Justin Edwards. They have both been good finds for Nick Nurse as he's had to play with this depleted roster. Hard bounces. What a pass and what a finish.
That was one of the things he did exceptionally well in Phoenix. Be opportunistic as a cutter.
He has 10 points, 4 of 6 shooting in this first. Here's Doughton. His floater rings in. Now in his 4th year, and Nick Nurse been happy with the way Doughton was late. He said, all right, I'm going to tuck the shoulder and make sure we get this foul call. Brunson, a 3 is good.
People to our right who might not want to awaken the dragon. You see Jalen make 2016 and 20, and over to the broadcast booth.
Anunoby in the corner, can't hit. You know, NBA coaches, they always love when they get Villanova players. They will always rave about the way they come from the school of Jay Wright. George can't hit the 3. Council kept it up.
But you know they were going to be well taught on the defensive end of the floor, give you great effort.
The Chris Jenkins shot is one of the all-time biggest shots in basketball history. And never forget the reaction of Rolly Massimino with Mike Fratello, our good friend, when that shot went in to give Nova that title in 2016. Brunson gets fouled, and he's going to the line. A little homage to our good friend Mike Breen. Brunson missed them both.
How well did that team basically absorb every loss?
Yes.
One injury after the other, they kept battling.
Yabusele plays it in.
Just a little bit by surprise. And it's not like we've not seen OG cut drivers off before, beat him to a spot. Yabusele having none of that.
Brunson turns the corner, able to lay it in. The footwork and the finish. 9 points for Brunson. George aggressive early, back ironing off. Deuce McBride up with the rebound. 6-point Knicks lead. Brunson puts it on the deck, and George was there to take it away. Here's George. Hard anticipated it. Council to fake. The attack. Finish it. And Achua storms in for the rebound.
Look, I'd like Council to have a little vision on that.
Wow, like Hart just did.
You're valued. Like, cover 35 feet with the first pass. Your defenders have virtually no shot.
That's off the mark. Here comes Hart again in transition. One of the most efficient players in the league in transition. Sets up McBride. He got it.
And again, Josh in transition.
30-19, Knicks in front. Knicks 5 of 8 from deep in this first. And Joel Embiid available much at all this year. He's played in just 13 games, out again tonight. And doors after it took a while for him to get going. comes back, wasn't as productive as we're used to, starts to play like the Joel Embiid we know on Christmas Day, sprains his foot, but continued to play for a while afterwards, and then suddenly is out with that sprained foot and is still being designated as day-to-day. Nick Nurse said, look, still saying day-to-day, but still not back.
Listen, the guy in the last 5 games he played, over 30 points, 50% shooting, and 56% three-point percentage.
Yeah.
When healthy, as we always say, one of the most productive. To the matter is, from the outset of his career, it's been the inability to be available. You are not winning in this league without your top 5 player in your lineup consistently. And what feels different to me about this year with the Sixers and Joe, it's just like there's a heaviness. Like, these guys still play hard, obviously, give great effort nightly. But there's just moments, you see it with Tyrese Maxey, where he doesn't have the joy.
Now, I know you're a diehard Eagles fan, but we're here in Philly. Do you co-sign Cat wearing an Eagles shirt?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right, Knicks fans, you heard it. Thanks, Jalen. Back to you.
Good stuff, Cassidy. I think, you know, if you produce like Jalen Brunson and Karl Anthony Towns have, then the Knicks fans are going to be fine with you wearing any jersey, as long as you wear. Start of the second quarter. Knicks a 30-21 lead, and Chua and Sissa. Philadelphia just 1 for 10 from 3. Knicks were 5 of 8 in that first quarter. Here's Maxey. Gets around Bridges and slides it in.
Close out against Tyrese Maxey, even if you take the right ankle quite often. That speed is just problematic.
First points of the game for Maxey. And a whistle going the other way, moving screen there.
So skilled, but there's just moments where even he feels like not as joyful.
Yeah.
What you would expect given the record.
Payne fires and hits from 3. Break there at the end of the first was just how things have felt a little gray without as much light peeking through than maybe it felt certainly with the offseason the Sixers had, the way they built their roster, and then even at the beginning of the year when you're thinking, okay, they'll get healthy, they'll be together soon enough, they're still waiting on that.
Here's what I want to know. Because upcoming for Philadelphia, at Indy, at Milwaukee, at Denver. Cleveland, your home game. At Chicago, good finish there. But just, I don't know how to describe how it, as it relates to the Sixers.
Yeah. We'll see that upcoming schedule momentarily. You see what the Sixers did in December, and that was something Nick Nurse did point to when we asked him before the game, is it easy to still find hope? That if you get your big 3 together, what it can look like, and having the roster healthy. As Bona turns well for Philadelphia, getting time amidst the depletion of their roster. But Nick Nurse said, look, I'm not going to lie, right now, it is tough to hold on to that hope and have it feel real tangible. But Bridges, he said, but that is kind of what you hold on to.
Right now, you better stop some of the three-point shooting for the New York Knicks, because Bridges is feeling good right now. That'll help you right there, but knock a couple down.
Second 3 of the game for Philadelphia. They're 2 for 12. Knicks 7 of 10. Payne, not that time. Knicks get back on defense as Bona secures the glass. Here's Maxey. Cut off, steps back, long 2. And a timeout taken by New York.
Parents are safe, but it's an ongoing situation. There's in the aftermath. But Ryan, even though he's here in Philly, pieces of his heart and mind are understandably in LA.
Oh, no question, Cassidy, and beautifully told. It is just obviously an ongoing, heartbreaking situation for still very much in the thick of things with the fires in Los Angeles. And you know, I think a lot of times in performance, Doris, we take for granted the things outside that you have to deal with in life and organize.
These players are no different than us in the fact that they have families, concerns, stresses, joys. This one in particular for Paul, the unknowing.
Here is Oubre attacking. And
there's no, that last possession, they're running against the zone, just a little design set to have Mikal come off a screen. He's a right-handed shooter going right to left on that last one, made it look easy.
Bridges fading, rims out. Sims, the O-board, and the putback.
The sprint in transition gets you a couple more buckets.
Here's Maxey. Philadelphia's made its last 5 shots. Maxey can't curl that one in. Hart again pushing pace for New York. Hart sets up Payne. Can't hit that one. Rebound knocked out of bounds. Payne, McBride, Sims, Bridges, and Anunoby, the 5 on the Hart and Towns have played historically high minutes collectively to begin this year, but no Towns tonight as Maxey's pass goes off the rim and into the arms of the Knicks.
The most telling number of what you just said is never before in the history of the NBA has one team had the 1, 2, and 3 top minutes getters, however you say that, in the league, and that's what the Knicks starters have. It's incredible.
Bridges 1, Hart 2, Anunoby 3, and Brunson 5.
He's talked about the fact that you know who's on board with it when he returns is how much time
he was in an interesting place with us.
He was gregarious.
Yes,
today.
he was, which, you know, he took us to NBA.
Yes, that have some tenure. Yeah.
He said, you got to hit it and move on, because if you keep talking over and over again, it actually takes you out of what you need to be coaching on the floor.
I thought that was a great point. You've seen players get sidetracked, over-involved with the officials.
Wow.
Playing at the baseline drive earlier than that play, he shows you some hops on occasion.
Here's Brunson. Guarded by Maxey, picked up 2 early ones, has avoided the 3rd. Anunoby lobbing it into the corner. Bridges extra feed, 1 more. Anunoby to McBride. He got it. Bench for Deuce McBride, and the Knicks are 10 of 16 from 3. Here's George off. Brunson the rebound. Pushing for the Knicks. Brunson guarded by Gordon. Into the corner, McBride, no. Here's Bridges. Bridges redirects, and now George comes up with a steal. Maxey bounces out, Oubre's 3. Off.
This has been an issue all year for the Sixers, just the inability to make shots. Bottom 3rd in the league in most of the 3-point categories.
Bridges can't get that one. 25th in 3-point percentage, 23rd in 3-point makes per game. There's 24th in overall field goal percentage.
Would help if the big fella were drawing a couple double teams now and again.
He usually makes those numbers a little better. Here's George massaging his way in and banking it home.
To me is a noticeable difference with his game. Is New York going to take a timeout? He doesn't draw as many fouls or get to the free throw 3 games from 3.
Yeah.
They are going to need consistency from him on both ends come April and May.
Well, when you look at the way the starting 5 is composed, right? You have to look at that and say, can that starting 5 win up and down, the variance for Bridges?
And the variance, I would also say, comes on the defensive end of the floor. You know, everybody has said the best combination of wings defensively in the league is OG and Mikal. Well, you've got to prove that on a nightly basis.
And it finishes. Mikal Bridges, almost halfway to AC Green's record, 1,192 straight games. But you see the 555, and it definitely does get taken for granted, that luxury of him just always being available. And not taken for granted by Tibbs, though.
Oh, my God, and especially in this era, right, where we talk often about player availability.
Bridges short on that one. Maxey secures it. George leaking out.
First timeout. Philadelphia played
Minnesota this time of year. Chilly.
2 of the more prolific guys in the league. Hasn't Anthony Edwards made the most total threes?
Yep.
Yeah. It's interesting to hear Steph's coach, Steve Kerr, talk about you're starting to feel the frustration of Stephen Curry a little bit with all the losing.
Big bucket there from Anunoby cleaning up the play. Well, yeah, you had Steph even admitting, hey, you can't just mortgage the entire future trying to spackle something together. You got to be cognizant of how this organization is left when I am gone.
Come on.
Something to watch as this second quarter closes and then into the second half. Maxey unable to serve it in. Bona keeps it alive. Tried to get it to the corner on his shoulders.
All right, the strength.
7 to shoot. Here's Yabusele. Maxey skirts around, hoists it up. Back iron it off. Oh, what a tip.
Was it Bona?
Edwards got in there. Another young man who has really stood out.
He played great last night in a very tough game.
And Nick Nurse told us what he's seen from Edwards over the last handful of games has reaffirmed for him that he should. Yeah, looked like just enough on with the right hand on the right side and then the left hand on the wrist for it to be a foul. Bridges, hard bounce. Achua seeking space. Say you should. Achua hit challenge from Nick Nurse, as you admonished me for earlier. To challenge quicker this year. Mark Dagnall in Oklahoma City and Michael Malone in Denver.
Wow.
6 to shoot. Maxey acrobatically couldn't finish. Yabusele, no. Achua hugs the rebound. About a 7-second difference game in shot clock.
Without Cat, those defensive rebounds don't seem as certain.
Karl Anthony Towns averaging 14 boards a game, and the Knicks 6th in defensive rebounding percentage. Here's Brunson, 5 to shoot. Brunson the drive, the float, and the foul.
So their last game against Detroit, the great leadership of Steph Curry. This guy at the free throw line, great leader as well. And that's Jalen.
He is certainly about it. Brunson up to 11 points, 5 seconds left in the half. Here's George, nice shake. George, the kick, 1 second left. Maxey cannot finish through 2.
Off the dribble in the first half and how he wants to get him going. He goes, that's what we've been talking about, really, that whole end of the second halftime. And he said, really, he's trying to take on the world. He can't draw contact. He can't break free. We have to find ways to get him.
Maxey helps create an opportunity for Oubre Cassidy. Thank you very much. Just the third 3 of the game for Philadelphia on 16 attempts.
That point that Cassidy made about the off the bounce, that has been a real struggle for Maxey this year. But again, him under normal circumstances and the kind of space that Embiid might create on some of those off the bounce threes, it's, it's night and day.
Here's George fading away, left it short. Hart another rebound. His 5th. He also has 5 assists to go with 5 points. Anunoby bounces out. Hart whips it in. Great look.
Single possession.
Absolutely.
Now, you talk about high minutes, but there's ways to get rest in games.
Maxey crossover again off the dribble, unable to hit. His 3-point shooting down big time this year, just in general. Gordon nails the 3. Maxey in the high 30s, this year 33.5%. Oh for 4 from 3 in this game. Brunson, fall away 2, rims off. Oubre the rebound.
Always gets the separation needed, though. That's 6'8" defender in Paul George. He had to get at least a 1.5 feet.
Here's George going baseline. Hart, the denial and the control. Hart running the break. Sets up Brunson. Brunson shimmies in, floats up, leaves short. Oubre now trying to spring Maxey. Maxey on the move. Can't pop it in. Gets it back.
Very few guys be able to go step for step with Maxey in transition. OG in a dead sprint.
Here's Hart lumbering through. Bridges. No. Sims the offensive rebound.
It's a rare miss on that fadeaway by Mikal. He loves that shot.
Loves that too.
Yeah.
Bridges, he has 19 points. Knicks with 17 assists on their 24 made field goals. Here's Here's Maxey. Cutting, serving, and finish. And now a steal from George. Maxey couldn't quite control it. See if Maxey can get going a little bit for Philadelphia. Brunson gets the Brunson up to 15 points on 6 of 10 shooting.
Don't you get the sense sometimes watching Jalen that if a team starts to make some headway, he'll start to put 2 or 3 buckets together?
Yeah. Like, this is what my group needs right now. I'm going to provide it. Yabusele kicks it out. Oubre's 3 off the mark. Great contest from Hart. Yabusele the rebound. Maxey separates and has gotten value out of them. Please go to NBA.com or visit the NBA app. 11 from the line. Hart nearly threw it away. Anunoby was able to scoop it up like he was backing up second base. Brunson can't drop it in. Sims keeps it alive. Hart to the corner. Bridges off. Hart again. No, but he's fouled. And yes, obviously, the Knicks bench has not produced impact on winning.
You just have to play to your strengths, like get tip outs. And Cassidy Hubbarth was asking Tom Thibodeau prior to the game, where is Mitch? Well, apparently, Mitch is starting to do some things. He's not cleared for practice, but he is doing some basketball things. And Tom thinking and telling Cassidy, as Eric, just before the end of the month, and then you see where he is physically.
Certainly a piece that'll be intriguing to watch. How much he plays with Towns. Hart pushes it in and has it taken away. Here comes Philadelphia with a little juice. Maxey! Knicks quickly down the other end. And Brunson.
They have been brutalized by missed games, but this team comes with effort for the most part.
Brunson up to 18. Maxey has 8 in the third. Step back is good. Maxey with 11 in the frame. Bridges pops it out. Anunoby, a little hesitation, and still. And it's got to be a little deflating if you're Philadelphia. You feel like you're building something here and cut it to 6. And now twice in a row, the Knicks have answered with a 3. New York 13 of 24 from downtown. Oubre kicks. George can't hit. Hart another rebound, his 9th. He also has 8 assists and 6 points. Anunoby likes the matchup on Gordon. Throws it out towards us. Bridges gets it. 6 to shoot. Bridges zips into the paint and finish.
And Sims was behind that play saying, go shoot this one. We need it, and I'm here in position to rebound it.
Here's Gordon muscling.
You know, Eric Gordon probably needs to be in a specific role, but the range shooting and that ability to attack with that body off the bounce, you see what he was in his prime.
He has 8 in the quarter. Hart short. Rebound Yabusele. Pirouettes away from traffic. Gordon fakes the launch. Yabusele help comes as he was on Brunson. Nice find. Maxey in and out. Would have been big.
Man,
Hart the rebound.
They had 2 clean looks by the 2 best players playing for them right now and couldn't get them down.
Hart back to Anunoby in the corner. It's out. A real nice rhythm to this third quarter has developed.
Yes.
And now Nick Nurse consensus guys need to catch their breath.
Day going forward, guys.
I mean, that's very significant, Cass. Thank you for sharing that with us. So Towns will have to battle through as Brunson off the steal elevates and looking up at the rim.
That is huge news. First of all, he played the majority of that game, shot it incredibly well in the corner turn. I mean, that'll be very interesting to see if it has an effect on, as he calls himself, the best shooting big man in the game.
That's right. On this year, wow, has he been? 45% from 3. Sims hung in the air. Can't put it back down, but got fouled. Jericho Sims. This is the first crowd free chicken here. No chicken for you. Here's George. Maxey. Getting it back from George. Little two-man game. And George.
Passer twice. But when he goes to pinch in the post, he leaves George for an uncontested three. That's as good a look as they've had from three right there.
Hard. Can't hit. Long board. Maxey tips it. Controls it. And finishes.
Hanging tough, and the way Philadelphia tries to play, and this is Nick Nurse, they want to turn you over, get out in transition.
Maxey with 13 in the third. Philly 5 of 9 from 3 after they were 2 for 15 in the first half. Hard, another rebound. Floats it inside. Sims seeking help. Here's Hart. Off to Anunoby. Anunoby puts it on the deck. Storms in. Can't finish. Sims. Some big O boards in the quarter for Sims. He has 6 offensive rebounds on the night. Here's George separating and correct.
Many facets of his game. That D-cell was sweet. Get that defender off beat and make an easy shot.
Here's Bridges. Knocked out of bounds. .com/vote to cast your ballot now. Philadelphia cutting into what was a consistent game down to 3.
And Maxey getting a rest for the final 141. He scored or assisted on 19 of what they had already scored in the quarter. And now Paul George, right? Don't foul out. Don't get in bad foul trouble here. You've now got to sustain for the final 2 minutes your team offensively.
5 to shoot. Achua eyes the clock, trying to create. 1 to shoot, knocked away with 4. Trent Tucker rule as Anunoby gets.
So the size, the separation ability.
And it just feels like he's been less worried about fitting in over the last couple of weeks. Instead, just being himself as that floater drops in. PG with 9 in the quarter. Here's Hart, a 3. No. Rebound. Knocked around. McBride has it. Edwards couldn't grab it. Philadelphia fans, besides themselves, they could not claw that rebound. Shot clock at 3. Brunson, short, follows it up. Another O board for New York. Their 12th offensive rebound of the night. 5 on the shot clock. Brunson creeping down. Brunson pivots in and floats it.
You talk about his footwork all the time. Didn't look like he was on balance.
No, they don't. At that time, it almost looked like a first baseman. As Cal banks it.
To be very aggressive. You know, I had some shots in the first half, didn't fall. A little rusty, didn't play in a couple days, but I got my rhythm.
You're all tied up heading into the fourth quarter. What did you like about your fight in that third, and how do you carry over the momentum?
Yeah, we played extremely hard. Everybody on our team, everybody that stepped on the court that quarter, went out there and played their tails off. So now it's 0-0. We got to win a quarter.
Thanks for your time, Tyrese. Back to you.
All right, Cassidy. Maxey had 13 in the third. 19 for the game now. Philly ended the quarter on a 14-4 run. We are tied after a couple of buckets to begin the fourth. Here's Brunson with 24 tonight, and he's fast.
They're not going to.
Right. Knicks have dropped 5 of their last 7. Here's Brunson. 4 to shoot. Nice look. Hard. Extra feed. And Achua. That will count. And basket.
I'm not sure how often he says that.
Here's Maxey, push shot, rims off. Great box out to keep Bona, who's a very live body, off the offensive glass. Here's Anunoby. Lost his footing. Squeezes it to Achua. Hart. Brunson into the corner. Anunoby. No. Offensive board. Achua gets blocked from behind. Here comes Anunoby. Shot clock reset. Achua gets fouled.
Boy, these extra possessions.
For 2 tonight. This is the first. Again, plus.com/PPV.
Wow.
Chicken for all as Achua misses both.
Well, they're 10 for 17 from the free throw line, I believe, the Knicks.
Meanwhile, Philadelphia is 11 of 11. Could make a difference in a tight game.
Hail Mary at the end of the quarter, but he's done some things here in this period. Nice little pass on the Oubre sneak behind the defense.
It's Doughton rather than Reggie Jackson getting those backup minutes. As that three won't go, Philadelphia can take its first lead of the night. Maxey off the dribble. Maxey leaves it short. Hart another rebound, his 13th. Here comes Hart. Lost the handle. Gets it back. And Anunoby muscles inside. Denied by Bona. But much more for the playoffs. A lot of intrigue. What does it look like if you get George, Maxey, and Embiid up? It does feel like usually when you're playing the if game for much of the season, the results aren't usually at the top of what you'd hope for.
Correct.
Achua comes up with a steal. Hart drops it, gets it back. Ball pressure here from Philly. Hart floats it up and off. Achua, another. Knicks with 17 second chance points. Maxey bounces out. Edwards shovels underneath. Bona wasn't quite ready for it. 2 to shoot in the corner. Doughton, no. Hart another rebound, his 14th to go with 6 points and 9 assists.
Just a great feel, but he comes from the free throw line area and crashes back.
Paul George getting ready to check back in, as is Yabusele. Philadelphia still has not led. Achua out to Hart. His three, no. Oubre gets fouled by McBride. George back in, so is Yabusele, with Edwards and Doughton, Knicks, and Maxey. Knicks have Bridges, Hart, McBride, Brunson, and Achua. Here's George, nearly lost the footing. Mid-range, off. Brunson the rebound. Knicks a +8 on the glass. Brunson weaving through traffic to the corner. Doughton trying to hang with Bridges. McBride, a good look. Gets the roll.
Has to close out, and then the next pass becomes available. Just smart, subtle things Josh does.
Lead back to 7 for New York after Philly had tied it a few times. Edwards forces it up and in. Knicks led by as many as 16. They led by 13 at the half. It was tied at the start of the fourth. Brunson trapped, flings it over to McBride. Bridges attacks the closeout, loses it.
8 boards, 3 on the offensive end. Jalen tries to squeeze a pass in there to Mikal. It's a turnover.
Well, I think, DB, if I have it right, that 5 on his shirt as Edwards rims in it of New York.
Oh, very like that better.
2-point game midway through the fourth. Philadelphia 7 for 12 from 3 in the second half. Brunson short, rebound Maxey tipping it to George. Look at McBride sneak from behind. When being diminutive is an advantage.
That's not a boo from Philadelphia. That's the deuce from New York call.
Hart swiveling in for 2. 4-point game. Maxey, fall away 2, off. Brunson the rebound. Philadelphia has tied it multiple times. They've been nipping on the heels of New York, but have not led all game. Brunson stopped. Under 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Maxey short. Achua the rebound. Brunson 26, Bridges 21, most of it in the first half. George and Maxey 23 and 19 apiece. Bridges cross court, Anunoby catch, fire, no. Rebound Oubre. Knicks lead by 6. Maxey speeds inside, able to pizza.
Such a great job when he gets, and then adjusting to what that guy is doing. He beat Mikal on a similar type play, and he just beat OG.
His first points of the fourth after he had 13 in the third. Brunson dips in, can't bank it home. Rebound Philly back into the arms of Maxey. Under 4 minutes to go. Maxey a three. You bet.
His job has been so much harder this season with all the absences, but boy, hanging tough tonight.
He has 24. It's a 1-point game. Brunson into the paint. Jumper is good for Jalen Brunson. 3-point Knicks lead. Rivalry matchup, the Sixers and the Knicks. Maxey dishes. Edwards connects.
He was thinking about bringing that young man up. Probably a pretty good decision.
He has 8 in the fourth. Tie game. Brunson off to Hart. Inside, stops on a dime and travels. That can change on this possession. Tied at 102. Maxey, step back three. Can't hit. Yabusele the rebound. Hart ties him up, and we'll have a jump. Yabusele tips it. Oubre saves it. Hart has it. Here comes Hart on the breakaway. For the slam and the triple-double.
Guy is just relentless with his motor.
A winning player. 5th triple-double of the season. George bounces. Yabusele flags it down. 6 to shoot. Maxey seeking an angle, gets denied. Popped it back up, but the Knicks come away with it. Here is Brunson. 1:40 to go. Knicks by 2. Entertaining contest to start our doubleheader tonight on ESPN. Hart through the lane. Needs help. Anunoby. You bet. Is all the way down in the 70s.
Oh my
Look at that
gosh.
list of the difference. Hart and Anthony Edwards. Paul George can't finish it. Bridges secures it. Good look inside, but Philadelphia unable to capitalize. Hart, those 14 rebounds, a season high.
Paul George frustrated with a no call.
Hart bounces underneath. Achua last hit. Here's George. Philly needs a bucket. George can't give it to him. Long rebound. Oubre there, and he's fouled to go. Maxey gets it right back. Down 5. Maxey into the paint. Stops. Fades. And hits. 11 from the line tonight. Make it 12 of 12. Now 12, so have a foul to give. Trailing by 2. 36 seconds to go.
Now here, do you trap Jalen Brunson again? He's been trapped 8 times. A good percentage of them here in the second. Paul George going to play him straight up.
Shot clock at 10. Game clock at 22. Brunson races inside, leads, and hits. Knicks by 4. Maxey swiftly up the floor, bangs into Brunson, and that's going to put Maxey at the 30 tonight. As Maxey hits 5 points, 5 assists for Maxey. 1 timeout remaining for each team. New York a 2-point lead. Bridges bounces in, Brunson, and there's the foul from Edwards. Teams in the bonus. Bridges gets it into Brunson. Oh, poked away by Maxey. It's loose on the floor. George has it. Philadelphia out of timeouts. Here we go. Maxey down 2, speeds in. Blocked, but the follow is just to inbound. Bridges has to get it in. Finds Anunoby. Anunoby slips.